Today I'm going to take on a challenge I've always wanted to try. We're going to explore the Face Bank money box. You know, the slightly creepy little cube that eats your coins. I'm going to cut it open to see how it works, and then I'm going to try and put it all back together to see if it still works. This might be a terrible idea, but before we start dissecting this poor little guy, I'll just give you a quick overview. The face of it is made of this very stretchy material. It's like a rubber or silicone or something similar. There's two covers on the bottom, one for retrieving your coins, and one for the batteries. When I opened mine up, I noticed there was this unpleasant greasy substance around the base. So I wiped it off with some paper. Then, after installing some batteries and replacing the covers, there's a little on and off switch on the back. Then you can sit it down. Then I think there's actually a little motion sensor near the bottom to bring it to life when your hand gets near. The face wakes up in quite a weird but charming way. The eyes stare straight ahead, but the whole mouth starts curling and opening, and stretching forward, with a hilarious chewing motion. If I shine a torch inside, you can see some of the mechanics at work, and we'll be having a closer look at all of that in a minute. But present it with a coin, and the face grabs hold of it with its lips, and pulls it inside with a few little chomps. Then it disappears, with a gulp. Pretty cool, huh? It really is hilarious. Remove the cover on the bottom to retrieve your coins. One of the wonderful things about British coins is that some of them feature special edition designs to celebrate important anniversaries, historic events, and influential people from the nation's history. This £2 coin commemorates St Paul's Cathedral. This Magna Carta edition from 2015 marks the 800th anniversary of the historic charter. This Charles Darwin edition celebrates his groundbreaking work on evolution. And this Florence Nightingale edition honours her contributions to nursing. But it's not exclusive to £2 coins. This 50p edition pays tribute to all the hardworking NHS staff. This one from 2011 shows a couple of rowers and commemorates the 2012 London Olympics. And this famous Kew Gardens coin from 2009 features an elegant pagoda and is one of the rarest coins in British circulation, and is worth over £100. Mine was given to me in a handful of change when I bought something from a shop, so it's always worth checking what you've been given. As fun as it is feeding the face bank all your money and watching him chomp away on it. Of course, I had to try feeding it a few other things too. All in the interest of having a balanced and well-rounded diet. Although some of the thicker things, like this Lego man, may be a bit too much for it, and I don't want to break it before I dismantle it. The time has come, my friend. I'm going to use this sharp knife and start by cutting a slice across the top. Oh my word, this feels so wrong to do while his face is still moving. It definitely personifies it and brings it to life with the animation, and it's making me feel a bit uneasy. Cut down the side, and I can start to peel it off a bit. And look at him, he's still going. Let's cut across the bottom. And wow, check that out, that definitely doesn't look right. And finally, if I slice down this side, now I can peel it off and open it up, and wow, look, his face is still moving around. I can even kind of stretch him and reshape it now. Pull his mouth and oh, it's all coming apart. If I fold it forwards, we can look behind, and oh yeah, look, there's all sorts of levers and gears. It's difficult to see, so I guess the next step is to remove the face completely. It looks like it's glued on to these arms. If I pull at this bottom one, it's off. This one at the top seems a bit more stuck on, and I don't want to break the inside, so I'll slice this piece off. And there's the little face. Turn it around, and you can see this plastic strip holding on the two eyes, and these two tabs next to the mouth which were stuck onto the arms to make it move. I don't want to rip it, but you can see just how stretchy it is. But check this out. If I shine my torch inside, you can see all of the mechanical bits moving. I wonder if I can peel off the rest of this red coating. That would be cool. It's actually bonded on really well. I don't know what glue it is, but it's really strong. And if I keep pulling and stretching it, I'm starting to rip it, but it is coming away. There's one piece, and it's really quite difficult. But I kept pulling and picking away at it. Then I used my knife to help around the edges. And with a bit more pulling, I was able to remove nearly all of it, all while the thing is still working inside. And when it did come to a stop, if I wave my finger over this hole, it springs back into action. To have a closer look inside, I'm unscrewing all of these external screws. And I found a couple of hidden ones under the rubber feet on the base too. Then I was able to remove the back. And both of the sides too. Check that out. This battery holder sort of unclips from underneath. I do need to be careful not to pull any wires off. Then if I remove a few more screws from the back, yes, I can remove the main assembly. Oh, and there's a couple more screws holding the circuit board onto the front. Interestingly, there doesn't seem to be a sensor or anything on this side. I thought there'd be a motion detector or something visible. There's just the 2 holes for the screws to mount it, and soldering holes on the side. But once it's come to a stop, if I wave my finger in front of it, it does make it start again. So that is very curious. Here's the battery holder, which I don't really need to take apart, but here's the clever bit, the main assembly. While it's still working, you can see it's an arrangement of gears and arms with pivot points. There's the on and off switch here, and if we remove these screws from the back, I can lift off the gearbox cover. Oh no, something flew out. I definitely should have switched it off before opening it up, but it's quite fun to do while it's still working. It was these 2 additional gears and this little shaft that popped out, so I'll need to reinstall these later. But if we pop out these other 2 gears, there's also a couple of cams on the other end of the shaft, and as it rotates, it operates the arms on the other side, moving them independently and at the perfect time, making the mouth move and stretch. Here's the little motor that drives it all, and you can see inside the gearbox everything has been coated with silicone grease, designed to be compatible with the plastic gears. This is the grease that was around the battery cover when I opened it earlier. Now let's try reassembling it to see if I can get it to work again in any way. The top gears on the shaft with the cam slot back into position. Then I need to work out which way around these intermediate gears go. If they're wrong, they won't mesh together properly with the other gears, and it won't work. After a little trial and error, I think I figured it out. Then we need to replace the cover, and even before I screw it together, I can switch it on and activate it. And, yes, it's working. It must be correct inside. Now I can screw it back together. Then use the 4 screws to reattach it back to the front plate. Fasten the circuit board back underneath with the 2 screws. The battery holder clips back in at the base. Then we can relocate the sides and the back plate. It's a little bit fiddly lining it all up. Then fix it all together with the remaining screws. Next we need to reattach the face. You can see these tabs at the back need to connect back on to the end of these arms. And to do it, I'm going to try using super glue. I'm adding a little bit to the top arm. This one's like a clamp, and the tab on the back of the face pushes down in between, and add a bit more glue down here. Then we can stick the face back on. I pushed the top bit into the clamp, and I'm holding the bottom one on for a few seconds while the glue dries. There we go, and I'll leave this to set for a few minutes. Let's see what happens now if I switch it on. Move my finger over the front to activate it, and haha! Check that out! It's moving up and down, and it's definitely opening and closing its mouth a little. And to fix it all around the edge, I'm going to try using this red insulation tape. First I'm going to stick some on behind it across the top, and along the bottom. Then I'm going to wrap a load of tape all the way around to hold it down tight. I'm adding some more around each of the sides. And I'm tidying up the rest of it all with a few more strips of tape and a little bit more tape across the top. And check it out! He is a bit rough, but he's not looking too bad after his operation. Let's switch him on and give it a go. Look at that! It's actually working again. The face is stretching, moving around, and the mouth is opening. But I guess the true test is, will it still eat coins? Haha, brilliant. I think we've just about been successful with this. If you want to see me dissect some more things, maybe my Mova globe, some fidget toys, or even some kitchen gadgets, let me know you've enjoyed this video by giving it a like, and let me know in the comments what you'd like to see me do next. Don't forget to subscribe so you don't miss my future videos. And if you'd like to see some more really cool gadgets, you can click on the link here. Have fun, stay safe, and as always, thanks for watching.